gentlemen, welcome to breaking down why I lost to Byun. Byun is a champion level player. He has won several trophies, lifted them upon high after defeating all of his foes. And we had the honor of facing off against him in the Americas Open. I get the question all the time of, Neuro, do you ever play against any of the top pro players? Yes. Here. I will show you how we lost. Breaking it down mistake by mistake. Because a lot of the mistakes at the highest level can be pretty minute. They can be pretty subtle. But if they're there at all, a player such as Byun can punish them with pro gamer skills. So Byun is going to open up with the Righteous Reaper Expand. And you may have noticed something different for those who saw this game, in that I made 6 lings instead of 4. The reason for that is because Byun has won championships using the Reaper alone. And that means that with the first Reaper, he could potentially just kill me, and I would rather invest in 2 additional lings rather than lose 7 drones and die. Aside from that, my opener is the same. I'm not going to try to cheese him with some build that I've never attempted before. I'm just going to try to do my normal stuff with small adjustments and see what happens. So he's sending his SCV to scout. He's sending his Reaper to scout. We're browsing this. We'll just take my perspective and see what I could have focused on better. Production tab. I'm making the lings, making the queens, taking a base. Gonna make an overlord here soon. Pull the drone away. And we save drone. I haven't lost any lings yet. Still haven't lost any lings yet. Got my overlord going, getting ling speed. Double inject. Ladies and gentlemen, I have survived the first Reaper harassed from Byun without losing a drone. I feel victorious for the rest of the day. Maybe I didn't win this series, maybe I didn't win this map, but the drones lived. And so did the lings. And that's something that few can boast. So I'll just boast for a little bit. So far, so good. Making drones, queen, ling speed. Trying to get an overlord over there for vision. Looking at this overlord on the map. Reaper's going up here. And it doesn't get anything done. Ling speed is halfway done. There's a queen here. He's going for a quick Hellion build, which I think skipped a Marine. Let's just, before I go back to my perspective. No, he did make 1 Marine. So 1 Marine into some quick 4 Hellion pressure. This Reaper is just kind of being annoying, getting information, scouting around. Cool. Imagine killing Byun's first Reaper. Do you think it would GG out? Only if it was a player like me who's over 1,000 MMR below him. Saved the drone. Saved both drones, cancelled both spores. Ladies and gentlemen, we have lost 0 drones, even still. But the fire cars are coming in. And I actually got on top of it pretty well. Great. We killed a Hellion. Okay, that's a problem. I don't have enough units to defend this location yet. So he can just kind of drive these around. The queens could be pressuring these. I think that's where they should be. And I think this queen should be moved probably. Probably. Because 3 queens of pressure would mean that I can defend this better. And then I could have some lings here. So this is the first point where I start to bleed some workers. Do you ever watch their build and their cameras, said the Thirsty Terran? Do you just want me to send you these replays, JW? Because I can do that for you. Okay, we're getting that tech. I have the lings here. Yeah, the queens should be more concentrated, and I would really like having 3 of them here, which I do have right now. So my spores are a little bit late. This is where things start to kind of get worse and worse for me, because he's making workers. 2 base setup, and he's got his 3rd in the wall. Just a standard Hellion Banshee opening, which is pretty safe. Like, I can't all-in him with a Ling Roach Ravager thing if he does this build. I'm going for a Roach Warren. Raynor makes 7 queens instantly in this matchup. Instant 7 queens. Raynor, why do you have 0? Oh wait, you have 7 queens. Instant. Late Spore, getting punished for that. So at this point, I'm clearly behind. Definitely could have had some creep stuff here. And I think trying to push the creep up here sooner. It's nice when people give you something really simple as a point of feedback. So I asked Byun after the series, hey, any tips to improve my ZvT? And he just said creep. Many tumor. Okay. Yep. So what I want to do is I would like to have the queens here. The spores keep these bases safe, and I make new queens to protect the drones. And the Ling Queen defends this 3rd base. So his Hellion Banshee phase killed 13 workers, so I've basically died now. Cool. So the opening phase with the Reaper went decently well for me. And this part of it did not go well. Is tumor from main to first expand early worth it, or inject prio? Inject prio, usually. 3 more drones, as opposed to creep connection. You can do an overlord dropping creep here, or you can just creep the natural somewhere like here. And if you put a tumor here or so, then it'll kind of backfill up into the main, and you can creep it forward. Cool. So what am I gearing up for now? I'm getting 1-1. This is a pretty good Roach Ravager map. I saw someone in the chat say, why did Neuro go for that attack? I was really far behind and basically dead, and I would prefer to ride out and meet my opponent in battle. So I tried to attack them. Crisp up that spore timing. Yep. The more active an opponent is with their units in the early game, in this case it's the Hellions, the greater the chance that you make a mistake and mess up your timing of stuff. So he is more in my face with the Hellions than a Terran at my MMR would be, by an enormous margin. He's going for double gas here and just keeping the tanks at home. So my idea was, I'm really behind. What if I tried to hit a Roach Ravager 1-1 timing? And I pre-split my units, could that be good? So I tried it. Really solid stuff from Byun. He's not really doing anything weird. It's just the usual bio stuff. Second factory is being added as his 3rd base is being saturated. Double upgrades here, done, 1-1. So we'll be even on upgrades when this happens. Can't Zerg out macro Terran just staying home? No, it's the player's skill. Both Terran and Zerg can macro really greedily and fast. There's not really much of a difference between the two, in my opinion. Because you could say that Terran might be a few workers behind the Zerg if the Zerg just does nothing but drone. But they can also make additional command centers to boost their income. So I'm trying to get an attack going here. I am up in supply. He has a really nice position here with Defender's Advantage. A cheeky thing I could do would be to drop him. Because he only has... I guess he has 5 medivacs. Basically, you're fighting against a champion level player. It's going to be tough anyway, you slice it. But I tried to get a pre-split here. Could have been a little bit better. I could have utilized this pathway as well. Just to make sure I'm really pushing in from every direction. I had the 1-1 upgrades going. Could have tried to take a 4th base here. I think I end up doing that. Yeah, I would say a decent effort. The hit with these Marines was good. Yeah. Yeah, he's able to shoot my Rotraviter backline by having stuff up there. That was a super efficient trade for him. The tank's on defense in a really good spot. That's going to be a pretty big GG. Good job, Byun. Then he goes and kills me. Let's look at the other game. So what did we learn from that first one? The Reaper defense was solid. Clap. The Hellion defense was not. And what I wanted to do was get the 3 queens all together at the 3rd and then be making new queens at the main and the natural. Just so I get that really early zone defense, and then I want to get those 430 spores at a crisp time. Not delayed by even 10 to 20 seconds. What's a BLO? Clap, clap. Ring splits were clean. We would expect as much from such a foe. Okay, round 2. Round 2. This time I go for a Bane Nest instead of Roach Warren. Byun has played mech against me. As a player, you would say he's bio leaning. He's the caliber of player where he could beat me with either mech or bio, so I'm just trying some Bane opening this time. Hatch gas pool. Bop, bop. Bop, bop. He goes for SAV Scout. Reaper Expand. Standard as it gets. 25 or 21 drone is rallied to the 3rd base location. Double queen. Making lings. Yup. 3rd base. Going for 6 lings because he's a champion level player with the Reaper. Ling speed. I lost a couple lings this time. But I think I kept the drones alive still. And we use the Ling Queen to defend the Creep Tumber. Cool. Yeah, I kind of think I could just keep grabbing the queens from the main and just spam queens from the main. That way I'll have 2 queens of pressure on whatever's outside. Instead of 1 queen of pressure on this Reaper, it would be 2, and then I can use the lings on the high ground. Yeah, I kind of like that as a thought process. Just a queen squad that's managing the front, and then a kind of remake queen that's going in the main. And lings defend the main. You went creep first this one and double inject first. Why is that? Mainly it depends on if I feel like I can defend the tumor at the natural. And also how mechanically solid I feel. Because if a double inject is something that the Reaper can't really mess up. A Reaper could kill a creep tumor and then you've wasted that 25 energy. So the lower risk choice is probably to double inject with your first one because the Reaper can mess up the first tumor. So I see the Marines there. My Baneness is going. I should put a forward ling out on the map, I think. Or just send 2 into the natural as a follow-up scout. I should get my handy-dandy notebook. Alright. To help summon this notebook, raise your Peepo notes or Neuro notes. Peepo notes, Neuro notes, Apopto notes. Bop, 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 bop. We have notes. We have a mechanical pencil. Okay, ZvT. Point number 1, Queen squad at front. Number 2, Lings defend main nat. Remake Queen constant in main. Creep. Push. Underline, 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 underline. Because Byun said to do it. And he must surely know. Okay, he's going for a heck bat attack. My Baneness is not quite done yet. Queens are trying to defend. I'm gonna pull that queen too. I try to switch onto the medivac here. And he micros it back. Making more queens. I'm making lings. I'm making Banes, trying to save the drones. And the queens kill it. And we got the Banes into the Hellbats. But the spores were late. I think his Banshee is late though too, because he was aggressive. Man, that was a pretty decent defense. I still have some queens, but I need to shove creep as a reaction. I think doubling up the inject, stuff like this, doubling up that inject, that could have been more creep. And I think that's what he may be talking about. Do you think it's worth it to play extra safe versus tip top pros and make more static defense? No, in the sense that Byun is going to make like 70 to 90 SCVs and he can just beat me that way. It's basically choose your own death. How would you like to die to this pro gamer? By being behind, spamming static defense, or risking it to get ahead and then dying to their aggression? One thing that could be done for this map in particular, or maps where the third base is far as fuck away, is just to put a connector spore. This is something that some pros will do. Mainly because there's a window of opportunity before your Overseer and Queen are ready, where the Banshee can get some damage, and that would protect your transfer spot a little bit. So that would be a decent investment. You could basically do the math of your own play of how many kills do the Banshees get, and if it's over a certain number, probably like over 3, it might be worth it to get this here. So I lost my Lings to the Hellion harass, and he just made some more. So that ended up killing a whole bunch of stuff. I think I've lost a bunch of workers now. Yeah, so I died in the Hellion Banshee phase both times, more or less. So my queens can be better anchored at the third. I think that would help. The Bane defense of the initial attack was alright. But I need to remake some army. If he trades out all of his army, he's gonna make some stuff. And I need to remake some stuff too. Yeah, I just don't have enough lings to block this. So he gets to just drive in and take another really good trade. Yeah, if I made 30 lings, you can just shut this down hardcore. So having both my queens and my lings in one place is not really what I want to have to do. But it's what's happening. So he's just chipped away too much. And now I'm going to go scout, so that's cool. It doesn't really matter whether he's going mech or bio because I'm dead anyway, but I get some credit for getting an overseer scout in. Look at this. We see that it's bio. Hooray! Oh, I'm getting my double ups. A little bit scuffed, but they're going. Look at this, we're taking initiative on the map and being a little bit aggressive. Byun has perfect unit control here, so I don't really get much damage done, but I do scout. Just force a bit of reaction. Nice wall off here. Could try to run lings in. There's also a slight window of opportunity right here as he's moving out. So I could, in theory, be threatening with my lings at this location to kind of force him back. He doesn't really have many units at home. Like, the reinforcements would eventually defend a location like this, but I think these lings could have been more stabby here. Also, this as a fourth base, it doesn't work. I think I have to take either this one or this one. It seems like this one ended up getting more creep, so I might go for this as my fourth base in the future, just because it's a lot more kind of tucked away from Terran pressure. They could put a tank down here, but that's shooting uphill. I think he was able to get his tanks here at a point, but this base is just too far forward. Didn't we see Cyril constantly lane run by a ton when Terran moved out? Yes, we did. Just play like Cyril forehead. This kind of setup is really good for stopping Ling Run by entirely. You would need to have Banes mixed in, and it ends up being a pretty expensive attack. He's taken kind of a late gas here, which is normal for Marine style. And we kind of defended that. Yeah, with the triangle base, you have creep that kind of falls down from the main, so that location should get creeped more. And then my creep objective should probably be to try to get to here as fast as I can. So his units are just going to trade ridiculously well off creep. Lingbane is pretty good on creep, but I didn't really get the creep super far to the right hand side. This was kind of cool. I sent some lings to try to kill the reinforcements. He's got good attentional management. There was a nice clump of Marines. But it was a fun idea. Nice sensor tower behind that thing. Yep, we did. We're just trying to survive as long as we can. Oh, that was some pathing issues here. They got all stuck on that for some reason. Let me just see what the pathing attempt was. Because I think I was trying to go to their third. You notice neither player takes these vision points in the middle? What do you mean? Like putting lings up here? It's not a bad idea. Everything that you can list out costs APM and attention, though. Oof. What the hell is this? So units can get behind these gold things? Man, that's unfortunate pathing. So if these rocks were killed, I think they would have pathed correctly. But the Lings could have been contesting this base. That would be pretty cool. That's a good thing to know that Terran goes for this as the 4th base. If it's Byun. Dude, I don't know. Dude, we were totally gonna win until that thing at the bins happened, right? No, we were dead from the Hellion Banshee. So the take home from this, more so than this is kind of just the ceremony of Terran having more macro stuff and then gradually denying your 4th base until you're out of stuff. But the real issue was not anchoring my 3 base setup with the Queens and the Ling Bane versus the Hellion Banshee. That's what I need to clean up. And then anytime the Terran loses their stuff, I should remake some army and be active with it and explode forward with creep. So remake army if it all dies. And be active. And shove creep. Cool. I like it. Thank you, Byun, for these amazing games. Let's look at Byun's control here. His Marines. Go back to the tanks. Wow. His Marines all have 1 HP, but he can still micro them. Whoa. Transferring SCVs. Tanks being rallied. Double factory tech lab tank production. And he got him. Good job. I feel like if you did roaches, you would have defended better, but then how do you get out of roaches without dying 5 minutes later as well? This is so difficult. Yes, facing Byun is among the more difficult tasks a gamer could endeavor upon. I agree with you. Hope you enjoyed this analysis. Nice playing against Mr. Byun.